Welcome to Fright Night for real.
That's right. We watched Fright Night this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How have you not seen that? 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 Little darling, how have you not seen this?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of The Movie Gap. I am your host, Chase Austin, and as always, the annoying neighbor friend who turns out to be a gay porn star, Bryce Perkins.
Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, I've had that one in the chamber
For a while.
Even before I rewatched this movie, I was like, "That's what I'm going to call Bryce."
Yep.
And I was hoping you would be like, "What's that from?" But you actually found out already. So.
Yeah, so joke's on you, bitch. Who's the gay porn star now?
You accidentally did your research.
That's right. Thanks to my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I bet you had that in the chamber for longer than I've had butt blazers in my VHS.
Probably.
Yeah. Which has been since it was released.
All right, Bryce. Well, before we get into this film, how's your week been? What have you been up to? It's been a while, actually. Been a while.
What's that from?
That song.
I don't understand the reference.
It's been a while. That's the song.
No, I never heard of it.
It's been
1 week since you looked at me.
Man.
I know that one. I know that one's by that band Stained.
No.
Yeah. So I haven't been doing much, man. I've really just been kind of chilling. Chilling like a man, what rhymes with chilling? I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with chilling. Can you help me? It'd be preferable if it was a word that was also synonymous with bad guy. Chilling like a I don't know. I've just been chilling though. I'll leave it at that.
Chilling like the
Chilling
character
like
from Predator, Dylan.
He's a bad guy. I will.
No, he wasn't a bad guy.
Oh, see, it's got to be a bad guy.
Yeah,
chilling like Milli Vanillin.
No, because there was Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, I'm ruining it doesn't work if you have to stretch.
And I don't know that they were necessarily bad guys. I mean, they were dishonest,
right? They certainly angered a lot of their fans. Let them down.
Yeah.
Chilling like a
guy who gets sick and doesn't take penicillin, so he doesn't
bad
get
to
better.
himself.
Yeah,
which technically is still bad.
Yeah,
but it's a little long. It's not as I don't know. Chilling like Bob Dylan. Is he a bad guy?
No, I mean
he's a bad singer.
Yeah.
Does not a bad guy make though?
No.
I think we're gonna have to table this one.
Yeah, let's table
it.
it.
If you guys have any ideas, hit us up in the comments and we'll read them off. But I have some fragrances in the works.
All right.
And be on the lookout for those. That's about it though. I don't have any names for you. So
okay.
I just really wish I could figure out what I'm chilling like though.
I don't know.
But I don't think we're gonna ever find out.
Like
what?
Like you're sitting at the window sill. You're sitting in the window
chilling
sill.
like a cillin, like a window cillin. Nope. I don't know if it's gonna be possible. I really don't. But I also I watched a movie called Fright Night.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
And if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to discuss that on the podcast this week.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I didn't know if you were really down with that.
Yeah.
We didn't really.
All right, so this week the movie is Fright Night. Bryce, you had never seen this movie before?
Absolutely correct.
All right, and what did you know about this movie going in? Did you even know it existed?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I know we were coming up with some horror movies to do, and
Well, we
one of the ones
talked about how we are. Whoa, what was that?
I kicked my mic stand
David
on accident.
We haven't even talked about how we're deep within Spooktober.
Yeah.
You know, I've been scared for the past couple weeks.
I mean, we definitely. This is not even our first vampire flick.
I've been almost too scared to make my fragrances. You know, make my essences.
Yeah, well, because you don't want to accidentally summon some sort of witch with your witch's brew.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that these things, what I'm concocting in my lab is
they could be confused.
Yeah,
with some sort of
is
potion.
extremely powerful. Yeah,
You know, some sort of
I'm basically
summoning
doing
spell.
alchemy. Yeah,
Yeah, some tabula rosa shit.
Mm-hmm. I do
Rosa,
use,
Rasa, one of those things.
Yeah,
Sounds demony.
I put in snips. I put in some snails. I'd never use puppy dog tails. We do not test on animals. Okay, we don't test on anything. As a matter of fact,
what about snails?
remember these fragrances haven't been tested at all on anybody. So, you know, that's part of the fun when you buy, part of the mystery.
You test on snails. Where does snails fall? Is that a bug?
I don't know, a encephalopod? That doesn't sound right, but maybe it sounds
That just
good.
sounds made up.
I think they're encephalopods.
I don't know.
Something with a soft body and no legs and one internal organ.
What about a slug? Is that just like an old snail that lost its shell?
It's a shellless snail.
That's what slug stands for, shell-less snail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
I'm a scientist.
So, what did you know about Fright Night going in? I mean, I guess you'd never heard of it until I said,
at all.
Yeah. So, like, when you pulled it up, I didn't
What I
even tell
knew
you
was
what it was
what you
about.
told me, which was you just told me.
I think
it's
I said
it's a
vampires or-
vampire. It's a cult classic vampire movie from the 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, sounds good.
So, like, you didn't even know it was kind of like campy. You didn't know what it was going to be.
I mean, I figured when you said cult classic from the 80s, I was like, okay, probably campy, especially being that it's a horror movie, and especially being that it's about vampires.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably pretty campy. Excuse you, the listener.
Professionalism.
For not saying God bless you to me after I burped. I had a chicken sandwich before I came over here.
Very cool.
Which is hint, a new fragrance coming out, or a hint about a new fragrance involves chicken sandwich. So, I don't know, man. I didn't know shit. I figured it was gonna be campy, and that was about it.
All right. Well,
I did not know that the bad guy from The Princess Bride was gonna be in it.
I did not remember if you had seen Princess Bride.
Oh, come on.
So I figured you had.
I was raised on Princess Bride.
Yeah,
you know why?
Big scam.
Yeah. I mean, I figured you might have, but like, you know, you're weird. You haven't seen anything. So
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
Sure.
Fright Night, 1985.
Well, hold on. What did you know about this? Is what I want to know. I'm kind of curious. Like, what did you know about this movie? How did you even know about this? Because you kind of pulled this one out of your ass. A little behind the scenes. We were supposed to record something else, but some scheduling issues came up.
Yeah.
So we kind of pulled this one out our asses.
We went through like two other ones, and they weren't available on streaming
Anywhere.
or to rent anywhere, which was nuts. No, yeah, I was just going through my head on horror films that we haven't done, and like, you know, I didn't necessarily want to do another franchise, you know, like the second one from Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. You know,
we got plenty of time to get to those people.
So
We'll
I
get
feel
to
like we
those.
just did those last year. Let's take a break. We'll come back to those, even though there's a million of them.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get some new stuff in there. And so I was just trying to think back in my head on, you know, something that I've enjoyed before, and something with, like, you know, I was trying to think of really scary stuff, but you've actually seen a lot of horror films, you know, like,
I guess.
yeah, but or like the
I've
good
seen
ones.
like The Ring and shit. You know,
like the good ones, the more, you know, the bigger ones, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Even Blair Witch we talked about.
Yeah.
Not Happening. Hereditary.
Right.
Yeah. And the ones about the Lorraine Warren and all that kind of shit. But anyway, so I just started thinking, and I just started also using that Just Watch app to find out what was free and like available to watch.
Oh yeah, we've been utilizing that.
Yeah, because I was like, I needed to sit down and watch it right then. So I was like, oh well, I need to tell him something. So like, I wanted to find something I could watch, and it was like 10 o'clock at night or whatever. And I was like, well, if I can't finish this tonight, I want to be able to get back to it, so I don't want to have to rent it.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, I came across this one, and I have not seen it in probably 10 years or so. I'd only seen this maybe 3 times. The first time I saw it, I was in high school, and I loved it. It's got great special effects. And then, I watched it a few years back on Netflix or something like that here and there.
Yeah.
When I'm in the mood for, usually Halloween, I get,
get in the mood for some spookins.
And I'm just like, man, I want something with some gore.
Yeah.
Something with some good makeup effects and stuff like that. And this was one to throw on. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Do you find that you is like searching for a movie that fits your mood or the time of the year? Is that something that you do frequently?
No, it's usually just horror.
Okay.
Like I usually get that itch and I'm like, I want to watch something visceral like that,
I see.
Otherwise it's, something for the podcast, something for class, or,
right.
I don't tend to watch movies over and over and over again as much. I've started doing that a little bit more because of the podcast. I'm like, man, I really do. Like, there's not a need. I don't feel like I need to keep watching new things.
Yeah.
When there's so much stuff that I already enjoy.
Yeah.
But honestly, I watch a lot more TV. So now than I used
makes
to.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Binge. With the binginess.
Yeah, and with the horror stuff like this, my wife likes horror and everything, but this was not one I was expecting her to want to see. So like I'd never brought it up before, but then when I told her we were doing it, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll watch that."
She's seen it before?
No.
Has she heard of it?
No.
Okay, good. So I'm not alone.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a very well-known movie. It's loved in its circles, but it's very of the time. It's before our time.
Right.
If you were a teenager in '85 that liked horror stuff, like this was a huge movie. This was the biggest horror film of '85, of the summer of '85. The biggest horror film of '85, I think, was Freddy 2.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Elm Street 2.
Gotcha.
But
this was released in the summer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But it was a low budget picture. Which the director Tom Holland, not Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was, I was gonna reveal that later.
Yeah, no. He
Spider-Man directed this movie.
He was really excited about the fact that the producers and the studios kind of didn't give a shit about this movie. They were much more preoccupied with a movie with John Travolta and Scream Queen,
Olivia Newton-John, called Grease.
I said Scream Queen.
And
then Jamie Lee Curtis, because I froze on that name. It's called Perfection. And that was a movie that they were doing, and then there was a couple other movies they were working on that were bigger budgets. They knew it had a draw, and so they were preoccupied on making sure those were going to be hits, and they just left these guys alone.
Yeah.
And they were able to do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Great.
And that's where,
And it ended up being the best movie the studio made that year.
Maybe. I mean, I definitely will never watch Perfection again. Yeah.
It's good?
No, it's not my thing.
What else do they say?
It's good.
No. Okay.
It's Perfection. It's like, fuck it. But it's about exercise. The exercise fad in the 80s.
Oh, that fucking movie. Yeah, the one where he's like,
yeah.
He's like doing his hips and she's like, oh, and they're like trying to fuck
Yeah.
each other in their
Yeah.
minds while they're dancing.
That's the fucking
That's
movie.
that movie?
That's the
oh,
fucking
but I
movie.
thought Olivia Newton-John was it? No, she did the song Physical.
Yes.
Around the same time.
Yeah, which was the same.
was it in that movie?
Costumes. I don't know. I don't remember.
Let's get physical.
I'm pretty sure
Let's get
I watched that when I was in high school because back then it was not as easy to find naked pictures online. So
Right.
if any movie, like, you know, you're scrolling through and any movie had an N
yeah.
by the
Yeah.
why it's rated, you're like, well, record that
yeah,
for later.
on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one, said it. I don't remember it having anything particularly great, but
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Anyway, this movie does have some titties in it.
Pervert.
But yeah, all right. So that's why I picked this movie. We're halfway through the episode. We haven't even talked about it.
No, yeah, that's good. Well, you picked this movie because it has boobies in it.
Yeah, no,
That's
I picked it because of the special effects.
The
and
fact
stuff.
that it's free.
Yeah, so this movie is very reminiscent of like a B movie from the early days, and then then what became even or just like the low budget drive-in movies after the B movies and the exploitation stuff. It's just a solid horror film where the plot doesn't really matter so much. It's more about the scares, the effects, and the overall feel it gives you. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun fucking movie. So
That it is.
yeah, and I figured you'd either love it or you'd hate it. So
Uh-huh.
I wanted to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to give my rating.
Well, no,
If you are.
no. Let's
Okay.
talk
all right.
about the.
Oh,
damn
you
movie.
want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Are you
So-
mad that I called you a pervert like that just now?
No, I just ignored it.
Okay. We can talk about it later if you want.
No, I'm
If
good.
you need to air any grievances.
No, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Let me see here. So I had a little bit of a notes journey. Because Chris Sarandon, I was thinking around the same time, they're about the same age.
Nope. Yeah, not
Susan Sarandon's brother.
That was my wife's first thing. She
Uh-huh.
goes, "Wait, is that Susan Sarandon's brother?" And I was
Right.
like, "I highly doubt it." And
But
then
it
she goes, "Why is he
turns
so
out-
familiar?"
Yeah,
It's Humperdinck.
it's Humperdinck,
Yeah.
exactly. But it turns out, not only is he not her brother, he was her first husband.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't look that up.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Well, that's according to Will, neighbor Will,
Oh, I don't know.
friend of the show. The mysterious owl, or
Yeah.
what's the neighbor
Well,
in,
he's been
in
wrong
Tool
before.
Man?
Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. He's like our Wilson,
Yeah.
I always reference him, but no one's seen his face, And you never will. You'll never know what Will looks like. But he looked it up and he claimed with pretty great confidence that it
Yeah.
was Susan Sarandon's
From
first.
67 to 79.
Holy what?
Yeah.
67? How old is
67 to
this guy?
79.
This guy fucking ages like a vampire,
He is
dude.
78.
So how old was he when he did this movie?
Well, whatever.
He must have been at least in his 40s.
No, yeah, because
He's getting married in 67.
Yeah, it was. He was born in 42
Okay.
when
so he
Columbus
was.
sailed the ocean blue.
Oh wait, he was 15 when he got married to. Huh?
1942,
So
and he got married in
67.
67.
No,
That's 20 years. That's 25 years.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers guy.
You just jumped.
I'm a numbers guy. What's
Yeah.
funny is that I do work in numbers in real life.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So he was he was 40. A little over 40. 43
Wow,
years old.
Dude ages like a vampire.
Yeah.
It looks like he drinks the fountain of youth.
I did not realize he was
So she just took that name and like made a fucking killing with it because it sounds awesome, like Susan Sarandon. What a great flow to a name. I always thought that was
Yeah.
one of the best Hollywood names.
Well, when I was looking, or when my wife was looking up to find out if they were brother and sister, she did not see that he was married to her. Although he's the only person she's ever been married to. Ever since then, she's just been partners with people.
Tim Robinson,
Yeah,
right?
famously, they were together for
A while.
88 to 2009. Why don't you do that
Wow.
math? That's 21 years.
years.
There you go. And they were not married. So,
That's easy for me though because that's literally my life.
oh yeah, you were born.
88.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Yeah, I was born in 87, so it didn't work. Man, she's
Wow.
73.
Way to brag. She's 73. She looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, money helps.
Money is the fountain of youth.
Really helps. Turns out that is the fountain of youth.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Money and having your looks be like part of your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yeah.
tend to invest.
When you go to work to keep yourself looking good.
You tend to invest in those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. While the rest of us poor folk are left to die in our tears and rot away.
But anyway, what I was going to say,
just why
before
we
you get
must
real
start
depressing,
the revolution,
is that she has like, she's got like 7 brothers and sisters.
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
And Chris isn't one of them.
No.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
Turns out it's a good thing it wasn't one of them because they were fucking. You know.
Yeah. I
So.
guess that is where she got her name is not Sarandon originally.
What's her maiden name?
Tomlin.
Yeah,
Or
dude. Susan Tomlin.
Tomalin.
Tomlin. Yeah, tamales. Not
Susan
good.
Abigail Tomalin.
Nope.
Yeah.
And what you doing, Susan? Oh, just tamalin.
So,
that's
yeah.
making
Wow.
that's making tamales.
I can't.
I'm just
believe
tamalin.
that. So yeah. Anyway, so
A good choice on her part for sticking with Sarandon.
Yeah, we looked him up and found out about, or we looked her up and found out the brothers and sisters, but not that they were married. So that's funny.
I knew more than you did.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fucking A, baby. The pupil becomes the master, and the master becomes the shit-eating pupil.
Yeah. Well, remember when you were like all excited about knowing that?
What's this gonna be?
When you were all excited about knowing that Michael Douglas directed One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, he just.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be like.
Well, wait.
resting on
I
your laurels
also know
somewhere.
another little tidbit about this movie. Tom Holland also was starred in is the new actor that portrays Spider-Man.
Nope. Not
No, but
this
really,
one. Not
see,
this one.
See, the thing is, I even wrote in here. I was like, Chase, you knew this one was coming.
Yeah, but
Everyone
you
knows
will
this one's coming.
recognize that name along with Chris Sarandon's name
In another movie that we do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he does Child's Play.
Yes.
And he also did The Lost Boys
Yep.
and another famous one. I want to say The Goonies.
I don't remember. He's done a lot.
He's done like a lot of. He's like a John Hughes.
He made a lot of horror films. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a lot of classic '80s things.
Thinner.
Don't know about that one. Sounds
It's,
like a
it's based on
documentary
a-
about my dick.
Your dick got thinner.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that
been-
he wrote.
Sucked so much.
Really, that's it. Oh, he
No.
wrote Psycho 2. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's not great.
What was interesting about this movie though is that it was cool to see that a pencil could kill a vampire because knowing that made me feel I'm no longer afraid of vampires.
Well, it didn't kill him?
Well, it seriously hurt.
Yeah. Well, remember in the last movie that we did about vampires, a pencil did kill a vampire.
A pencil did?
Yeah, when they ripped out the heart, the black beating heart.
Oh, and he
then
put
they
it- yeah.
put the pencil.
So so it's double. I no longer have to be afraid of vampires because I'm constantly strapped with a weapon.
All right. So
that
aside from Chris Sarandon being in this movie,
did you know what weapon I was talking about?
What?
Did you know what weapon I was talking about?
not listening to you. I was trying to get back on track.
Don't listen to me at your own detriment, Chase.
Yeah.
At
So
your own detriment.
anyway, what else? Let's continue on.
It's a pencil dick.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a pencil dick joke.
I got
You
it.
like that?
I'm just moving on.
Cool. I mean, I am talking about the movie.
Sure.
He hits him with a number 2 pencil. Did you know that doubles as a fucking a wooden stake to injure vampires?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it? It's
The
wood.
ultimate marketing, the ultimate advertising for the number 2 pencil.
Is that it kills vampires. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't jump on that more.
I know that the special effects guys were pissed about that shot.
Why?
Well, because
great.
they did so much work to have the pencil be able to go in and pull out.
Uh-huh.
And with the director, when he was putting it all together and they edited it, he cut to a reaction shot between the time of like it going in and then pulling it out. They're like, you fucked up the whole gag. Like by putting, like they could have done 2 separate gags, and that's what it makes it look like. So
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I didn't notice if it means it. If it
Well, yeah,
matters.
no, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's what
Yeah.
editing is. You don't notice it.
Right.
So, you know,
I mean, it didn't affect my enjoyment.
No, yeah,
of the
but
shot.
if you're the guy who spent all that time making the
Right,
gag work
doing
both
that.
ways, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, yeah. So that's just
funny. That's
funny. So what else you got?
Let's see here.
I will say that Richard Edlund is the head of the visual effects department on this movie, and he had just worked with his whole crew on Ghostbusters. So they really cut their teeth on a lot of stuff on Ghostbusters, which allowed them to do this film, or they got Tom Holland got them on this film for a lot cheaper. And they had just worked on a bigger thing, so they knew more, but they were still in that like learning phase, so they were a lot cheaper to do, to use, and so he took advantage of it.
Okay,
So
nice.
so that's why the effects in this are really damn good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Really good practical effects. And I was going to ask you, who was doing the practical effects in this?
Richard Edlund, yeah.
But not the famous one, the dude who did The Thing. The legendary ones.
Not like it wasn't a Rick Baker.
When did The Thing come out? Before this?
80. Yeah, 84. It might have been 85.
Well, so around the same time. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Once it really, the movie had a nice like build to it. It had a nice pace to it.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't try to immediately, gross you out or spook you or whatever. It lets it build. It's like it's a slow build.
well, yeah, it's really a boy who cried wolf story. You know, like he sees it, but
Yeah.
like this kid is obsessed with vampires already.
Yeah.
And he immediately knows that this guy's a vampire.
Uh-huh.
We see it.
Yeah.
And nobody else believes him
Mhm.
because why would you? Vampires don't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah. So what else? What else you got in your notes there?
Okay, so let's talk about Evil Ed, man. Let's talk about Evil Ed.
So I was going to surprise you, but you found out that
Yeah, thanks to neighbor Will.
Stephen Jeffries, not Joffrey's.
Joffrey's.
Stephen
But
Jeffries.
he fucking has a Joffrey vibe
Yeah.
to him, man. In this, dude, okay, first of all, immediately so annoying, right? In this
God,
movie.
he's the fucking worst.
The worst.
So awful.
And not a good friend at all.
No.
Terrible friend.
And so annoying. Like,
But-
just hearing even his normal speaking voice that he
Uh-huh.
uses
Yeah.
makes you want to kill him.
Just punch him in the
Yeah.
face. Yeah. But that, I mean, I'm imagining was the point of the character, which sort of means he was doing a great job
Yeah.
at being that guy. So, I mean, I give him credit for that. And then when he like finally turned into a vampire, he like, seized his moment and
Yeah.
did great being the vampire and everything. What's his IMDb say about it? His other movies that he starred in?
Oh, yeah, he became a gay porn actor.
Cool. Tight. Okay.
Yeah. I have some of the
In,
names.
I believe IMDb says, in an unprecedented turn,
yeah. he became
after a brief successful stint on stage,
yeah.
in an unprecedented turn,
yeah, he became a gay porn
he was like,
actor.
fuck it, I'm just going to do gay porn.
Yeah, these
What were
names
the movies that he did?
So we have these are as Sam Ritter, so he changed his name, I guess. Thinking it was,
Oh, okay.
but Hole in the Wall,
It's good.
Sex on the Beach,
It's good.
Virtual Stud,
It's good.
The Cockpit,
It's good.
and then we start getting a little more into it. I'm gonna
It's a little more blunt, right?
yeah. Well, no, this one's great. Mechanics by BI day, lube job by BI night. So
The wordplay.
that is Oscar Wilde like wordplay.
Much
there.
wordplay.
Then there's leather after midnight. He gets into a real leather area.
It goes a little Judas Priest.
Yeah. I like Latin crotch rockets.
I didn't see that one.
This is my favorite one.
Great. Uh-huh.
This is it's the way I read it is fun. Just 18 and gay.
That's the one. That's the name of the movie?
Just 18
Dude,
and
because
gay.
they were-
I think it's like just 18 and gay, but I like just 18 and gay.
Oh wait, just is in the movie?
Yeah.
Title?
Just 18 and gay. That is a full title. JUST,
Just
18 and gay.
Just got so lazy with naming the movie.
Yeah.
Just didn't even fuck. They're like, who cares what? Just call it just 18 and gay. Okay. Just call it that. Okay, fine. What else is there? Isn't there
Uncut Glory?
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, I saw that one.
Then he's in both Transsexual Prostitutes and Transsexual Prostitutes 2.
Right. Again, very blunt. Wonder what that movie's going to be about.
The Big Screw Up, Motel Sex, Manhunt. Here's where he really goes back to the well on this one with Leather Virgin.
Gotcha.
And then followed by Leather Intrusion Case 2, The Spider's Kiss.
Oh.
And Leather Intrusion Case 4, Down to the Wire.
Excellent.
Yeah. Then, of course, you can't finish up your Leather trilogy or saga without Leather Buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Which I like to think it's about, like, dogs that are into, like, leather play, you know, like Air Buddies.
You like think? Oh, I see what you're saying. It's all of these are part of the LCU, of course, the Leather Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Then there's Butt Blazer.
Yep.
Buff and Gay.
Buff and Gay.
Buff and Gay.
Buff and Gay.
Just 18 and Gay. Buff and Gay.
Tight. Okay.
Black Men, White Men.
That's my fucking favorite one, dude. Dude, what are we gonna call this movie? I don't know. There's black men. There's white men. Let's fucking call it that, okay? Because that you're going after a fucking guy that picks that movie knows what he wants. I want black men. I want white men.
Yeah.
I want them fucking. There's my movie. Thank you.
Private Temptations. Oh, this one is an interesting one. Halfway House Hunks.
Like so insensitive to people like trying to enter enter back into society. You know,
it's just
like what if they were troubled people that were trying to reestablish themselves?
Well, like
they were all hot and they all fucked each other.
And like, how do you get into gay porn? Most of the time, it's because you're on drugs. And you want?
Well, we're not judging any of that. Yeah. We don't know any of that. There's probably people that choose to do it, and that's fine.
Clearly, after a pretty successful stint in the theater, in live theater, you go to gay porn. Now, this one's great
for him.
This one's great because I see like the wheels turning. I have no idea what this one's about. But I guess it's called Semen Training Day. So, like, I like to think that they're like, well, we got the rights to do a training day porn parody with gay guys. What do we call it? I don't know. Semen Training Day?
Wait, that's just the working title, right, boss? We got to come up with some kind of pun or something, right?
Yeah, it is a pun. It's like Semen Training Day. You're training a semen.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. All right, let's just start shooting them. All right.
Oh, man. Yeah, so...
That's great. It's great fun. Good for him, though, man. I'm sure he made a lot of money, and he sounds like he enjoyed himself. I don't know.
Yeah.
Porn industry, I don't know anything about it. Probably not good people, and maybe there are some good people. So hopefully he is doing okay and did not get hurt or taken advantage of.
Well, I just the whole time watching this movie, though, his character, I was like, his character definitely has one parent who is at home not caring where he is. Like he just has that
his character in this movie.
Yeah, in this movie, for sure. Where it's just like he's just got like the mom who like is watching old football videos of his brother who's dead.
Yeah,
or like just an abusive like drunk dad.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't go home.
I think he definitely. Yeah. This kid.
It's real. His story is real sad.
Definitely had a drunk dad.
Yeah, his story's real sad.
Real fucking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? He plays him great. I'm not gonna, I gotta give him credit. I think the point of him is to be annoying, and to that.
I mean, he just doesn't come off.
His credit.
He doesn't come off like real though.
Oh no, not at all. But also, I mean, it's like by the end of the movie, you've given into the camp.
Yeah,
you've given into the campiness.
Well, and
it just kind of works.
That's
works.
Where that's
at the beginning you're like, who the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
But that's where I think the problem with the Evil Ed character is that he is over the top annoying, before he becomes the vampire.
Yeah.
If he was just kind of annoying, and then when he became the vampire, it all got heightened, like his ugly teeth and like the eyes and being real mean. If it was just like little like jabs in the ribs and like making fun of people or whatever he does, but without being so nails on a chalkboard grating annoying, it would have been a more interesting like escalation of his character.
Not to mention,
whereas it was just him being still annoying and also trying to kill you.
And he came off as a little bit of like dollar store Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
He is Stephen Bacon. Okay.
That should have been his porn name.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
And my wife, obviously she hated that character as well. He was super annoying, but she was really just got so pissed off at the fact that this vampire is also a werewolf.
Dude, okay.
Now
you jumped
they
ahead,
set it up,
but
yeah.
And
I was telling her, I was like, that's the lore, that's the world that this is. Vampires can turn into bats, vampires can turn into werewolves. They set it up, they're allowed to do whatever they want.
When did they set that up?
It was something the Peter Vincent character, character Peter Vincent, he said something about werewolves, and
I missed that.
It was in one of his movies, and that's the whole thing, is that nobody really knows how to do vampires or kill vampires because there is no such thing, even though there is.
Right.
But as Peter Vincent like kind of offhandedly mentions, is like, well, everything's been working that worked in the movies, so the holy water, well, except they never actually had it, but like you couldn't see him in the mirror.
Right.
The crosses worked if you believe in it.
Yeah.
So like even when he's like she'll turn back into a human if we can kill him before the sunrise. Like, how do you know? I don't know. Everything else has been working.
Yeah.
Like that happened in one of my movies. Maybe this is all true.
And then it did.
Yeah, and then it did.
Speaking of her, did you recognize where she's from?
Yes, I did. I also knew this. Like I said, I'd seen this movie before. But she's Marcy Darcy.
Marcy Darcy.
Yeah, from Married with Children.
Married with Children. Yep. Which that took me a minute to realize. Like I spent about 30 minutes going, man, why does she look so familiar?
I knew it. I was like, I guarantee you Bryce is going to come up with that one, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you were a Married with Children kid.
I mean, I didn't watch it as a kid,
it was on.
It was on.
It was. And you know what it was? It was on 26 in syndication.
Exactly.
Because it was a Fox show as well.
Exactly.
But in syndication, it was on either right before or right after The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, exactly.
So, and I know you watched The Simpsons.
Exactly.
Everybody watched The Simpsons.
Everyone watched The Simpsons back then, yes. So, and it was always something that was on right after you got home from school-ish.
Yeah, like
around
5,
dinner
6,
time. Yeah. And so it would just be on.
Yeah.
And Fox was a new network doing those kinds of new, edgy comedies at the time. So, I did. And her husband in that show was named Ted, right?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And so that was just kind of just neat. I didn't realize she did any films, and she does great in this. And who's the guy? Who's the main character?
I mean, he's in a lot of nothing.
Because he does pretty good in this movie for how campy it is. Oh, but one thing I wanted to say was that this movie immediately has a Mystery Science Theater feel to it.
What do you mean by that? It's
like totally a kind of movie, at least in the beginning, where they could do it on Mystery Science Theater and just riff over it.
I mean, a little bit. It's not that bad. It's not like it's not bad at all.
On the edge of it.
Yeah, there's things you can make fun of.
At least in the pace of it.
Yeah, the thing that would make it difficult to make fun of Mystery Science Theater wise is there's too much dialogue. If you get too much dialogue, you can't.
I don't know. Me and Will were riffing pretty good over.
Yeah, but you're talking over them talking.
No, we were able to do entire fucking monologues in the spaces between when they talked.
So when you're trying to pay attention to this movie and take notes so that you could talk about it, you were not paying attention to this movie by trying to make jokes.
Let's move on.
Yeah, remember when you're like, "Oh, well, we should do this thing live so that I could not have to stop to take notes and pay attention to the movie."
Hey.
Or you could just pay attention to the fucking movie instead of not paying attention.
Hey, like I said before, the pupil becomes the master. And that's what I don't need to pay attention to these movies anymore. I just need to watch them and fucking riff over them like a fucking god, dude.
Well, the episodes would be better if you take notes.
I do.
There you go.
So suck it. All right, you want fucking notes? How about this? All right, scene 4.
Oh yeah, he was on Justified.
The lighting. I'm wondering about the position of the lights and the boom mic in correlation to where the main character was blocked. The movements were really strange. Can you elaborate that on that for me, Chase?
No.
Let's talk about that, Mr. Movie Master. This fucking guy. He wants to talk. Let's sit here and talk about fucking. Oh man.
Oh man, he did a lot of TV shows back in the 80s. He was on Ellen. Yeah.
That's tight. Where's my water?
I don't know.
What the fuck? All right, well, whatever. It's right here.
You would have known it if you had paid attention to your pencil dick.
Mm-hmm. I know, that's right. I should have known. Yeah, but let's see. What did you think of? Let's see. Oh yeah, when he said, "I already destroyed your car." Next is you or something like that. Like after he,
that threat.
Yeah, and it was like, damn, man, you had to do
like,
what
you
had
have
to
to
do that
fuck up this
for?
kid's car.
That's so rude.
I mean, the whole car,
classic car.
I know, but it was like put together with Bondo.
Right.
I like how they're like, well, let's make this car shitty. Let's just take the paint off.
It just made it look like they ran out of budget.
Yeah,
they're like, that's all the paint we could afford.
Yeah.
It was literally our last penny in the budget.
Well, and that was actually the director's car.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
we noticed that Sarandon looks like Mark Ruffalo's dad, dude. Looks almost exactly like Ruffalo.
He gives off to me. He always reminds me of well, I had it. Harry Hamlin.
Oh man.
Which
nope.
You're not gonna pull that. L.A. Law. Your parents never used to watch that with Corbin Burnson.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, no, you haven't seen it, but we'll have to do the original Clash of the Titans.
I'll Google him.
He plays Perseus. He is married to Lisa Rinna, who is now mostly famous for one of those housewife shows. She's I think it's
Harry Hamlin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see
he's on Veronica Mars. He's been on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a very similar look.
I can see that. And then I don't know. Yeah. Hamlin looks a little more like Seacrest, though. He's like more Seacrestian.
I mean,
than Sarandon. But
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I never really thought that way.
I was also thinking that Sarandon had sort of like a Eric Roberts feel.
Yeah,
to him.
He does. They have a very stoicism and sort of that because he plays a bad guy and he's great in this movie. As a bad guy, he's great as Humperdinck. Yeah, he seems to be
so good.
The bad guy a lot, and it's that intensity without being angry or without being specifically snarly.
Listen,
just like Eric Roberts. That's a good pull.
He could have. I don't think they could have cast the vampire better in this movie, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think he
great.
fucking crushes it.
Yeah, and he so he had to do 8 hours in prosthetic makeup.
Yeah,
and he's a stage actor. He comes from stage, so he's the only thing that you ever do yourself in stage. In high school you're always doing tech, you're doing everything, and you do your own makeup. Well, all the way through the professional level, you do your own makeup. But once you get into movies, you don't.
Yeah.
They have the crew for that. Well, so he knew how to do some makeup stuff, and he couldn't stand being put in this stuff for that long. So he would help out wherever he could, stuff. But one of the things he mainly did was he put on his own fingers.
Oh, cool.
And stuff. But just anything to make the makeup process go faster. So he actually did some of his own makeup appliance in this movie. But yeah, it still took 8 hours for his stuff, and he acts the shit out from under it.
The makeup looks great, but there was so many different stages of his makeup too.
Yeah,
that must have been a nightmare to coordinate. Right now I only need his eyes and fangs.
Yeah,
but here I need the whole face. Right here I just need the fingers.
Well,
you
and
know?
that's one of the things that watching this movie, I think about with his performance is the intensity and the levels grow with the makeup and everything, but like it flows well where you don't feel like he's not actually changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they could do this makeup and then another day they come back, they do this makeup, he's at a different level at the right place.
Yeah.
And like the makeup, where the makeup falls short, his performance comes through and makes the makeup better.
Sure.
I think, which, it says it's testament to both. Like the makeup is not overpowering so the actor can't perform, but then the actor is also able to like move out from this is makeup and I'm uncomfortable into still being able to perform.
Right.
So it's
right.
like a hand in hand. It really meshes well
Yeah.
with them. And then now the craziest makeup though is that werewolf transformation or de-transformation.
Yes, and
that was cool.
And that was like, American Werewolf in London-esque.
Yeah, and like done backwards because he's like turning back into a person,
Right.
Ooh, that shot of the fucking like
feet.
dead dog.
Yeah.
Crawling. That made me feel weird.
Yeah, a little disturbing. Like at first I wanted to laugh because
Yeah.
it looked funny, but then I was
But then you're like, no, that kind of looks too real.
yeah. And now I'm sad,
Yeah.
and then they just show again, using the what's the word for it? The practical effects.
Practical effects, yeah.
And only showing a little bit of it and letting the imagination do the rest for you is fucking tried and true magic. It's the best fucking way to do it. If that was tried to be, if they tried to do that today, which I guess they have, they remade it, I guess.
Yeah.
With CG, it would just be so fucking lame and
But
dumb.
man, fucking Stephen
with
Jeffries,
this, you feel it, and you.
He was underneath all that. Like that was, and you could see a lot of. I mean, the makeup is so well done. The prosthetics are so well done. Even like in the faces, especially like the closer it gets to his, from like having dog snout to going back to like a normal person, you could see features of the actor in it. Where so they build it out, so it looks like a dog face coming.
Yeah,
it looks like his face becoming a dog face,
yeah,
or
right.
Sarandon's face becoming that vampire face.
Right.
And that like none of that characterization gets lost, which I really like. But they put so like that really is Evil Ed underneath a lot of that makeup,
right.
And that took 18 hours
Fuck
to do.
me, dude.
In fact, there was
Then you only have 6 hours of a fucking day
yeah.
to shoot.
I mean,
So they're like burning midnight oil and shit.
and he like they had
By
to
the time
put
they're
this,
done, he's ready for bed.
yeah, and they had to like fill his mouth with like this like saliva stuff, and they used the wrong thing, and it was actually a thick dental adhesive. That was all in his fucking mouth, and it was like gluing his mouth shut while he was under this. Oh yeah, it was fucking awful.
Oh no.
So that helped him in his future having strange things in his mouth. But
I knew you were gonna go there, you son of a bitch. This fucking son of a bitch over here.
But yeah, there was everybody had their issues with contact lenses on this film, because the contact lenses are crazy cool looking, but they each had like 3 sets that like are different forms of the transition, and like they would be harder and harder to see through. But I read that the ones that Amanda Beers, what was her name, Amy, in the movie,
yes,
she had to wear some, and it was so painful she couldn't stand it for like it was like 3 or 4 minutes to get. They took them out, and they realized that they had not buffed them. So like, just imagine like sandpaper on the underside of your it's just like ripping your eye. Oh god, yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't like get permanent damage from that.
No, but she did get to keep her fake titties.
Fake titties? They have fake titties on her?
Yeah, because when she turns into a vampire, she's got these giant bazongas.
I didn't notice that they changed.
Yeah,
I was just giving her credit, for having Big boobs.
Well, because she didn't have big boobs through the rest of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like apparently that's a thing with these vampires is when you turn into a vampire,
You get
your boob
big
gets
boobs. Yeah,
your boobs get real
yeah.
big. But she kept those, and she was doing back in the day before coronavirus, people would go to conventions and like sign
Yeah.
autographs.
Yeah.
And so she would like sign autographs, and while she's signing, you get to touch her fake boobs.
Oh, it's just sitting
Yeah,
there?
she's just
That's
sitting there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Good sport. you know?
No, the people that did this movie, specifically her and I forget what his name is. Is it Chris in the movie? The
kid?
main kid.
Charlie.
Yeah, they really had a lot of fun doing this movie, and
Oh.
they look back at it.
Really?
Yeah, with like
Her and Charlie?
and they've stayed friends, and like there was a whole thing where how they didn't get to do a commentary, and then when the DVD came out, and so like there was like a website that got together and like they did their own commentary,
Mhm.
and then the Blu-ray came out and they used that commentary on it or something. Anyway, it was just they really loved talking about it and signing autographs
Oh, wow.
because of this movie. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, and she went on to at least like get more well known for something else, but she
Yeah.
loved this so much she comes back to it.
yeah, well, and horror fans are extremely loyal.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's people who have done nothing but like one Nightmare on Elm Street,
Right.
and people still line up to
Right.
pay $30 for their autograph. You
We
know?
call them dorks. But no, just kidding. What's up with them always eating an apple?
Mm.
How about them apples? That's where that line came
so
from.
you noticed that. I'm glad.
Yes.
What this was an addition that Chris Sarandon brought to the character.
Okay.
What animal that would be
Bats.
associated with a bat? Yeah, like what?
Oh,
What
I had it.
vampiric animal
A
is
bat.
known to eat a lot of fruit?
bat.
A fruit bat. Yeah.
Oh, fruit bat.
So Chris Sarandon's idea was that when he's not eating blood, he's eating a lot of fresh fruits.
But see,
'cause
that's.
he's a fruit bat.
I like it, but let's be technical here, okay? Technically, he's a vampire. He's more like a vampire bat.
Well,
So
there's a lot of fruit bat in
he should have
there.
just been sucking on a bag of blood.
Well, fruit bats are the big fucking bats. Vampire bats are real little.
right. But he's a vampire, so he's
Well,
more like a vampire bat. If anything, he should have had an entire cow and just sunk
Chris
his teeth
Sarandon
into
said
it.
he wanted that because he was looking up vampire lore and concluded that Jerry had a lot of fruit bat DNA. So there was just
All right, that works.
I mean, I
Whatever,
just like
man.
it. It is
Yeah.
interesting though. Just it's one of those actor things. You always want
great.
something to do.
I mean, it worked.
So,
it worked,
yeah.
and it definitely helped with his character. It was just like, oh, what's going on here? That's an interesting choice. I'm glad that Tom Holland was like, yeah, bro, let's go.
yeah.
And then it made for some dramatic entrances. He was the master of dramatic entrances in this movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and I
Yeah.
love his like trench coat.
Mhm.
That like it has that air of like the modern day vampire
Yeah.
cape.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Dude, he is menacing and imposing
man.
without doing fucking anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love when when they're in that club
in
and
the
he just like lifts
that scene
guys
was great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a nightmare with the coordination of the makeup and stuff too.
Yeah.
you know? But because some of the shots were just of the hands, and then others were of just the eyes, and then others were
Yeah.
the full face, right? I don't know, but anyway,
I'm sure there was a lot of pickups and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean this movie's edited real well. The only thing
it really is.
the only thing that bothered me is the death of his familiar or whatever the fuck that guy was.
Okay, what I was gonna bring that up. What the fuck was that guy?
So like
He could be out
He's some
in the
sort of, like-
sunlight, but
yeah, so he's not a vampire.
okay,
And I know there's like a lot of lore with a familiar who is like a human that is under the vampire spell that helps him, like the Igor.
Oh.
No, Igor was
Oh, well, that makes sense. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah, but there's
Sure.
yeah.
But I know what you're talking about.
Excuse me. And
Oh, there's let's bring it to more modern days. Edward and Bella.
well, no, that's not a familiar. That's
But
a
she's
girlfriend.
under his spell.
Well, that's glamour. That's different. Like a familiar is like
he's a glampire.
Yeah, well, and you know, Chris Sarandon, Jerry uses glamour in this one too. The eyes and the spell, like
the
that's
allure.
Yeah, but a familiar is a deeper level than that. They are like in servitude of the vampire.
Oh, gotcha.
Whether or not
without
it's,
actually
where there's not
becoming infected.
Yeah, so like it's either they're working for them and with the promise of eventually becoming a vampire, or they do it so that they're protected from other vampires or things like that. There's another thing where he's the fact that he like turns to sand a lot or whatever, so he could be some sort of like golem creature. Like, so it's not really defined.
Sure,
but it does create a very cool death sequence. But there's some of the stuff that doesn't quite match with like when the hand comes up and melts in front of you, but then like the next shot is both hands down by the side.
There were a couple of those.
Yeah.
When you said that the movie was really well edited,
there's a couple of things where it doesn't
in some spots. Because in the very beginning, Marcy's taken her shirt off and exposed her brassiere.
Yeah.
And or bro. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
and
brassiere.
And he won't look, classic, like, oh, dude, she finally wants to do it. And now you're distracted by some
fucking
vampire.
Yeah.
Like, come on, what's wrong with you, Charlie?
Well,
and so
she
gets embarrassed, but it does this whole entire shot of her taking her shirt off.
And then
the next shot in the background, it's just totally on.
Well, and that kind of thing, you kind of have to.
Well, I mean, I know, but
you have to look the other way just because you don't know what scenes got cut.
Just sloppy.
That I don't have as much of a problem with is like it with the hand up and then down.
Yeah,
because the hand was digitally like layered back in.
Yeah,
they didn't have the right pickup of like the hand going back down. So like it was not getting the right coverage that they needed to put it together. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
from an editing standpoint, but that's fucking super nitpicky.
Sure. I mean, the thing is that the practical effects worked tremendously.
Yeah, they're so cool. I love and like you can see little bits and pieces. In fact, this guy, the special effects guy, worked on Indiana Jones, and you see that reverse.
Oh yeah,
well, we see like a reverse melt,
the melting
into the hand, and then we see the actual melt with whatever the
dog,
Gary Cole, or what was the name? Billy Cole. That was the Gollum guy.
And speaking of him, how much of a mix cross between Dana Carvey and Jim Carrey?
That Dana Carvey. I was trying to figure out. I was like, why does this fucking guy look?
He looks
like he looks familiar.
Yeah.
It's fucking Dana Carvey, because like it's even with like the hair.
Yeah,
kinda,
exactly.
Like, up there where you're like, that
exactly.
could be a wit. Yeah.
And he kept doing this.
Dana
face
Carvey.
like,
yeah,
a very Dana Carvey doing Dennis Miller.
That's
like
that's
okay,
it.
Babe.
That is it. 100%.
But
Dana Carvey.
And then he had this
Dennis
Jim
Miller.
Carrey, like height.
Yeah.
And goofy expression thing that he had going on too. So I was just like, this guy had to have like worked the Comedy Store circuit. You know what I mean? Like in the 80s,
Yeah,
and
you're
just
right.
was one of those guys that, he's probably a legend on the scene. But yeah, for whatever reason. That guy just was such a weird looking dude. But I mean, he did great too. I mean, he did great being a smug asshole.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in this film that it is.
There's a lot in this film that works, and what I think is great is that with the way that it starts off with the campy tone, and it's a little slow. By the end, when you're getting legitimately great practical effects and effective directing using those practical effects, it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this okay. Now I'm actually watching a good horror movie.
Yeah, and unlike a lot of
thank
horror
you, Tom Holland,
horror or especially comedy from the 80s, like there's nothing about this that doesn't or that comes off wrong now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like there's nothing like
What do you
overtly
mean,
racist
PC?
or
sure.
or sexist or like Me Too-ish. Like the girl wants the sex, and like the guy.
Well, that's the point of the vampire, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So like there's a lot that's sort of ahead of its time maybe in there with the girl's character.
Sure.
But it's just a fun little movie. So you want to get into the numbers?
Please.
And then the rating?
Please.
All right.
Well, let me just double check my notes to make sure there wasn't something.
Oh yeah, if there's anything else that you wanted to touch on.
There was some fire ass music in it in the dance club. Fire ass 80s music. So go check out the soundtrack if you guys want. Just want to put that out there. Oh, there was a point where he was wearing a puffy shirt, and I was totally hitting it with the I don't want to be a pirate, because he had the comes back to it always comes back to Seinfeld. Let's see. Oh, and then and then I had a theory. Just like a kind of a theory or a joke that the reveal, the big reveal when Peter Vincent tells Charlie that he's just been playing a character the whole time. Whoa, dude. Mind fucking blown, man. Like total M. Night Shyamalan before his time. You know what I mean? When he said that, I was like, holy shit. I can't believe it. And then the Shyamalan twists kept topping themselves.
Say you're saying that real weird.
Shyamalan? Shyamalan.
It's not Shyamalan.
Yeah, it is. Look it up. Look at how it's spelled.
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
Look at how it's spelled.
I've always heard it Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan.
All right. Okay, you've changed my mind. So M. Night Shyamalan. The twists keep topping themselves, but again, not the point of what the fuck I was saying at all.
You were making fun of the twist that the guy said he was not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares how I'm saying the name? Who gives a fuck?
I mean, I was tired of your joke.
That's fair. You and everyone else probably.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that the music. It's the same guy who did the Terminator music in Terminator 2. It's that the composer of the score.
Oh, well, I was talking about the actual song, pop songs that were being played in the club,
like Devo and what about that Fright Night, the theme song? As performed by
which one was that? The bad guy, Jay Giles Band. Yeah.
Jay Giles Band. Yeah,
they were. It was just was good, nostalgic '80s
bullshit.
Yeah, but kind of.
It was
but lesser known '80s music.
At
one point,
the score for this movie just became the Lethal Weapon soundtrack. It was just all saxophone. I think it was when Jerry was pursuing Ed down the alley or whatever. It was just so much sax. It was as much sax as there was fog.
Oh, I didn't notice. I didn't even notice.
There's a lot of smoke.
Yeah, really.
Man, you drive they give those exterior shots of that
house,
and it's just billowing. I was like,
dude,
who gives a fuck if there's a vampire in there? If you drive past that house, you call the fire department.
Yeah,
that thing is on fire. That is smoke. And it's just heavy smoke coming out of everything and flowing down the house.
I'd written something about that, and I think it was something about how M. Night Shyamalan loves dry ice too. No, I wrote something about that. The use of dry ice was fucking, but it was a great shot though.
I mean, this movie had a budget of $9 million, and I think at least $500,000 was dry ice.
Right, exactly, easily. And then let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah, and then I figured out a really easy way to kill a vampire.
Sunlight.
Slip Adderall in his drink, so he can't go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then he's up past the break of dawn.
Well, yeah, but he would be home where he's got all the...
Well, then you bash out the fucking windows or something. Well, you open a curtain.
Just because you're not tired doesn't mean you can't lay in a coffin.
Well, but if
he had all of those
if
alarms...
you're entertaining him, right?
Well, he had all of those alarms to tell him, oh shit, go to bed.
Right. But he's hopped up on speed now, So you never know, right? You can think, you can be like, I'm going to go to bed now, but you don't even realize what fucking time it is.
Well, but if the alarms go off, then you do know.
Correct. You're absolutely right.
I mean, Adderall doesn't make you forget pain, I guess. I mean, maybe it does. If you take enough of it.
That is the point of what I was saying.
Yeah. Is it, I mean, it's not like straight up cocaine.
Right. It's worse. It's legal meth.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm down for some numbers.
All right. So like I said, the budget is $9 million.
Mm-hmm.
And the opening weekend, I got opening weekend and I have the domestic gross. There wasn't a worldwide release, from what I could find. So, What was the opening weekend? This was late summer. It was August 4th. Or I guess midsummer.
You've already told me that it was a big hit in the summertime or whatever. You said it was like the biggest horror movie in the summer.
Yeah, it was the number 2 horror movie of the year.
So,
and of course the only one that beat it was the sequels. So it had that going for it. The sequel did. It was Freddy 2.
Okay. Then I'm going to guess, I don't know, 25 million.
For the opening weekend?
No, for the total.
Oh, okay. What about the opening weekend?
1 million.
6 million for the opening weekend. Yeah. But domestic gross.
How much was the budget again?
9.
Okay.
So you said 25 million for the domestic gross.
Yes.
The domestic gross this might be the fucking closest you've ever been without cheating.
Mm-hmm.
24.9 million, 922 million.
Whoa.
24,922,000.
That is the closest I've been.
$237. That's pretty goddamn close.
That is the closest I've been. Here's the catch. The thing you said about not cheating.
Oh, you did?
Maybe we can look over that a little bit there. Because Will told me last night when we were watching it.
Oh.
He's like, this made 25 million. So yeah, I knew that.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
all right, let's get that rating.
Okay. Out of 10 alarm clocks, as you mentioned,
yeah,
that I have set to remind me it's time to go to bed. You know what?
Just in case you're hopped up on Adderall,
right? In case your guest has slipped Adderall in your drink and wants to kill you, maybe it's a fellow vampire.
Yeah.
I give it, I give it like 7.5, dude.
All right, yeah,
give it 7.5 alarm
pretty
clocks.
Solid. I think it's got like a 7.9 on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Like, just like almost everything else.
Right.
Nope, 7.1.
So my opinion is about in line with the rest of the universe, so that's cool.
So it comes down to it. Is this a worth it or worst shit?
I gotta let Altuve speak for me on this one because
it's good.
It's worth it, baby.
There
it's
you
good.
go.
It's good.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up, except for the best part of the show.
Oh,
the
yes.
Reboot Recast. All right. So, I think you mentioned it in passing.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has been remade.
Right.
In 2011, it was starring Colin Farrell as Jerry and the late Anton Yelchin.
Mm-hmm.
Or Yelchin. How do you say that? Yelchin?
I'm not even going to try because I don't really know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anton Yelchin?
He's dead, but he played Charlie.
Okay.
And David
Tennant really?
played...
No way.
Yeah, David Tennant played Peter Vincent.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Well, Ash might actually want to watch that one. Yeah. She loves him.
And the Evil Ed was actually really good casting for the time, was Christopher Mintz-Plasse from Superbad.
Wow. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's
McLovin.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue
Who
with that.
Who also went on to do gay porn.
I
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I haven't really seen him since.
Yeah.
I saw it. I've seen the remake, and I also kind of like forgot about it. So like, I don't really.
So not good.
Nah, it was it doesn't have the charm of the new one or the original
CG?
one. Yeah, of course.
There you go.
And I love all those guys that are in it.
Yeah.
Toni Collette plays the mom.
Yeah.
She's got like a larger role in the new one, the mother. It's pretty much the same damn movie. There's some differences here and there, but yeah, you're better off with the original one. But that being said, for the reboot recast this week, since it was remade like 9 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to see if you would like to do a little bit of a spin.
Okay.
All right.
Down.
And you can help me figure out this cast. I kind of have some things in my head. So what if we did this movie, but instead of the boy next door or whatever, you sort of make it just a straight up, or maybe even a similar sequel to Step Brothers, and it's just John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, and they have a vampire, like they are the characters they are from Step Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the vampire that moves in next door.
Where
They're just like,
has this happened?
no,
Where are you pulling this
no,
from?
but doesn't that sound fun?
What? Where'd you get this idea from?
I just had this idea of just like those two man children being like, Mom, there's a
Oh, I
vampire.
see.
Like
Okay.
I just think that would be funny and it would fit.
Uh-huh.
And I never get tired of watching Step Brothers, so like give those two more to do.
Uh-huh.
Is
Is there another place this bit is going?
no,
Okay.
there's no
Then
bit. I like
then-
that idea.
Okay.
So then the rest of the cast has to be serious about it. Because those two, like how Step Brothers is, like it's still based in reality,
Right.
even though these characters are
Well, it's
over the
absurd
top.
characters in
Yeah.
a real world.
Yeah, so you get the mom and the dad back,
Or a
whatever.
non-absurd world. Yeah.
Maybe they're divorced, maybe it is just the mom or something, but
Okay.
they still have to live with a parent.
So then do you have an idea who plays the vampire?
Yeah, no, I don't. So
that's what we do.
Yeah, so who do you think? Where do we go?
Because they have to play it seriously.
Yeah, and we can work through this together. So
Okay.
like, let's say we want it to be somebody that could play the vampire well,
Mm-hmm.
play the vampire scary, and is able to have that reaction and stay in the moment against absurdity. I mean, this is essentially this would be like Abbott and Costello meets the Wolfman style
Mm-hmm.
almost of this era, but keeping it actually scary,
Okay.
or something, or at least the character. So like, who would be a good vampire? We can kind of go anywhere. We can go any age.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing: are we trying to capture the essence of, Sarandon?
I don't know. So maybe we make it that they're divorced, okay,
Mhm.
and that Sarandon or the Jerry is a vampire next door that's killing people, and he's coming after Will Ferrell's mom
Mm-hmm.
to become his bride. So that's how they get dragged into it, more than just, or it might not even be next door. Maybe she starts dating this guy, and it's really this vampire who's grooming her to be his bride,
Mm-hmm.
and like they have to stop it. Once they realize, and nobody believes that he's a vampire, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel? So then you're looking at like a mid to late 60s,
Okay.
or I guess
Well-
no, man. Then you get
Well,
much
I don't know.
older.
Like a younger guy could seduce this older lady, or whatever.
Yeah.
And if it's a vampire, he just wants to eat.
Yeah.
So it could be a dude in his 40s, like Sarandon. I say we try to capture the essence of Sarandon
Okay.
still.
Okay.
And have it be a vampire like that, right? If we
So
are,
like,
if we are going to do that,
mid 40s, mid 50s,
because if we're trying to keep the rest of the world, as non-absurd and real to
yeah.
this movie as possible, then why not? Just
So
try to cast
all
a
right,
vampire.
so let's do that, and let's try
as
and figure out
such.
somebody who's never played a vampire. Like I don't want to throw in,
Right. No Pattinson.
Well, yeah. I mean,
No.
a horror vampire, not.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So then we could do Pattinson because he might be perfect.
No, I think that's way too young.
Way too young.
Yeah, I mean, even if he is
Now, how old is he now?
he's like our age. He's like, he's like 35,
Well,
or maybe he's like 33.
Yeah.
He might.
Sarandon was only like 40.
That's I think he needs to be older. He needs to be
more distinguished.
Yeah, more exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
But he doesn't need to be like 60.
Mm-hmm.
He could be 45. He could be 60. Yeah, I think that 30 is too young.
Okay.
Because one thing that this movie does well, and that I always love, that has kind of gotten lost, is the vampires are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's with your Anne Rice and your Twilights and stuff like that. Vampires became this like beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like they have that aspect to them. They have that, like we were talking about, the glamour, where they can become something that you want to be around,
Mm-hmm.
but they aren't beautiful creatures, especially all the time. Like they are fucking nasty monsters.
Yeah.
They are abominations. They're demons.
Yeah.
So like I like the idea of not going with like a pretty boy, but not that he's not somebody.
Okay. But okay. Well, yeah. Well, I would love to say Steve Buscemi, but he might be too old.
Yeah, and I feel like
But,
he would.
So
I feel like he would kind of play into the comedy too much. Because Steve Buscemi does both. He does drama,
Right.
he does comedy, but more often than not, especially lately, he's been on the comedy side of it. So like I feel like he's so comfortable going there
yeah.
that playing opposite those two large comedy characters, he would become too funny.
Okay.
What you need is like a Gary Oldman, but he famously played Dracula
Did he?
in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Which is that? I guess that's when. Why don't we just do it a vampire Spooktober and just fucking do all vampire?
All
movies?
vampire ones.
Yeah.
Well, we've already got the other ones picked, so.
Okay. But that does sound like what we need to do. Is it a good movie?
Yeah. I mean, it's Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola
wow.
directed it. Keanu Reeves is in it, and he
okay.
is fucking terrible. Winona Ryder is in it, and she is fucking terrible.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
God,
no
it's
way.
bad. It's
Really?
real bad.
Oh, so it's not a
but
good
Gary
movie.
Oldman is insanely good.
Sure, of course.
And it's shot beautifully. There's issues I have with it. It's just not.
I think you're not alone in that, though. I think
No.
that's kind of what I've heard.
Yeah.
Is that it's pretty flawed.
I mean, I love Keanu Reeves. He's he can be so good, but he can also be so bad.
Right.
And it's just, I think it's a thing about just not being cast right.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely worth doing. We'll have to do it sometime.
Okay.
But anyway,
well, I mean, I will hit up my IMDb top 100.
so it was almost, like a Brad Pitt or something would be fun, but Brad Pitt's played
Well,
a
he was in,
vampire. Yeah, but like, maybe like a Robert Downey Jr., but he kind of gets silly too. I feel like he might end up being too silly.
I don't know. That might be perfect.
I mean, that's the right.
He can.
That's
stay,
the right charm.
Yeah. Well, he can
level.
stay in his.
Yeah,
He can. He's a pro. He can stay dramatic if he needs to stay dramatic.
I think that's
Look
what
what
we'll
he
go
did
with.
in fucking Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll go with. We'll go with Robert Downey Jr.
I am down with that.
All right. Well,
Big time.
that makes me happy with the recast. So, do you have anything else to add this week?
No, well, I mean, just plug, like and subscribe.
Like,
Bitch.
subscribe, watch us, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter at The Movie Gap, Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And, we'll come back for the rest of October. We are going to be doing more
Spooktober.
horror films.
If you're not too scared, we understand if you're trying to hide in your room and not come out and
Yeah.
keep the lights on and that kind of thing. So, but just remember to have plenty of Adderall handy for if you ever come across
Run into
a vampire.
yeah. And a pencil.
and a pencil.
And a pencil dick.
If you have a pencil dick, you're all set.
Yeah.
But if not all of those things, then please watch our show and like, subscribe, tell your friends, share this on your fucking page right now. Share the link now.
All right.
Do it and smash this button right here, and then hit right there, and then join our Patreon and do all of that stuff. And Chase, you're gonna put the buttons in, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna leave me out to dry, are you? Okay,
No.
good. I trust you.
All right.
I trust you.
Until next week.
Nom in space.